Hey everybody, Larry McCarren back at the Pro Bowl with Packers defensive coordinator Joe Barry. Joe, thanks for the time and watching you work over this past season. I know you have a passion for coaching. Does that include the Pro Bowl? Because it is kind of a different thing.
It is. It's first of all, it's a lot of fun, but these guys that we're coaching, they're competitors. Practices are a little laxed. You know, it's more of a walkthrough than a practice, but our job is just to get them prepared, because when the Pro Bowl does start and the ball's kicked off, those competitive juices are going to come out in these guys and all of us. And it's fun, but it's still football.
Joe, my compliments on the way your defense ended the season against the 49ers. Just played terrific football. Looking back at the entire season, how was your first year leading the Packer defense? What'd you see? What'd you like?
It was great. You know, the NFL football season's it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And there's going to be peaks and valleys, and, you know, there's going to be great times, there's going to be tough times. And I'm so proud of that group of men that we had through the injuries, through all the different things that we weathered. They showed up every single day. You know, I talk about consistency all the time. And we had a consistent group of tough men that worked their butt off every single day. And they played their hearts out really all year, but obviously, you know, that last game, that playoff game, they played their brains out, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
What's next, Joe? Your second year with the system, their second year with the system. What's next for the unit?
Well, you know, of course, we still have a ton of areas to improve on. You know, I think we can always talk, you know, Matt and I always talk about with the entire staff and the team, you know, you talk about situational football all the time. And I think in games that you win or lose, a lot of times it comes down to those 5 or 6 plays situationally. So I think that's the first thing that we can improve on, you know, whether it be third down, whether it be red zone, whether it be 2-minute. And that's the exciting thing, that you can really zero. You're not implementing a system in year 2. You already have that in. So then you can really streamline it and go, you know, really pick it apart and really work on specific things, situational football specifically.
What'd you think of Rashawn Gary's play this year? Was he a little better than you had heard or imagined?
Well, you know, I mean, that's I talk about all the time. The great thing about our league is that, you know, when you do come into a new team, you're familiar with the players just because of the draft process. And Rashawn was, you know, a big-time player that everyone was, you know, trying to get. So when you come into a situation like I did last year, where now all of a sudden, holy cow, you get this guy that was taken with the 12th pick, you know he's a heck of a player. But then you get to know him and be around him and see how hard he works and see how passionate he is and see how much it truly means to him. Not only games, but practices, walkthroughs. I mean, he is a detailed kid, and I think the sky's the limit for how much more he's going to improve.
Is there anybody a little more unsung than Rashawn that really caught your eye this season?
Well, you know, Devondre Campbell came in, and we all know his story on his path, on how he got here. You know, we didn't sign him until the last week of the offseason, and he was still learning the defense, going through training camp and even, you know, the first couple weeks of the season. The leadership that he displayed, the toughness that he displayed week in and week out, and the playmaking ability, he was really a blessing for us this year. And then, you know, Rasul Douglas, and I mean, I can list a number of guys, but that whole group of, you know, 22, 24 men, you know, whatever the number is with what we played with all year long, there's a ton of great stories. And just as I keep saying, just the work ethic and the toughness that they displayed all year, it's a great group of guys, man.
You know, in the hallway outside your meeting room, there's a sign that says, kill blocks, tackle, take the ball away.
Yeah.
That about says it all, doesn't it, Joe?
Well, that's kind of our battle cry every week. You know, obviously you play against different teams, different systems. You got to stop certain things with certain offenses every week, but that's what we preach every single day, every single week. Because if you do those 3 things, you know, it starts up front. And if we kill blocks, then obviously playing defensive football, you got to tackle. And then when you do take the ball away, like I've said from day one, if we can get the ball back and get it back in 12's hands multiple times, you take the ball away, good things are going to happen. So kill blocks, tackle, takeaway. That's the name of defensive football.
Joe, thanks for the time. Enjoy the Pro Bowl.
Anytime, Larry.